A flag is not just fabric. It is identity made visible. Across history, human societies have needed symbols, markers of belonging, authority, and shared destiny. Long before modern nations existed, civilizations understood the power of visible identity. The idea of the flag did not begin in Africa. In ancient Rome, legions marched under standards that carried emblems representing military units. These were not fabric flags as we know them today, but they served the same purpose: to distinguish, to unify, and to command loyalty. In medieval Europe, kingdoms used banners in battle so soldiers could identify their side in the chaos of war. Royal standards symbolized the authority of monarchs. In England, heraldic flags represented dynasties and territorial claims. Across Asia, similar traditions emerged. In Japan, samurai carried vertical war banners, known as nobori, displaying clan symbols so allies could recognize one another in battle. Over centuries, these battlefield markers evolved. As societies shifted from kingdoms to nation-states, flags transformed from royal property into national symbols. During the age of revolutions in the 18th century, flags became political declarations. The French tricolor symbolized liberty, equality, and fraternity. The American flag represented independence from monarchy and the birth of republican government. The flag had become more than a military tool. It had become an idea. And in the 20th century, as waves of independence movements spread across Africa, the flag became central to a new chapter in global history. African nations did not invent the flag. They inherited a global symbol, but they infused it with new meaning. For countries emerging from colonial rule, the flag represented sovereignty, the visible announcement that authority had returned to local hands. Colors became language. Ethiopia's historic red, gold, and green inspired many newly independent African states. Ethiopia's long-standing independence made it a symbol of African resilience. Red came to symbolize sacrifice, the blood shed in struggle. Gold represented wealth and the promise of prosperity. Green reflected the land, agriculture, hope, and renewal. Later, the red, black, green tricolor emerged from Pan-African movements in the diaspora, representing unity among people of African descent worldwide. Once flags became national symbols rather than royal property, their meanings multiplied. They began to encode ideology. Revolutionary movements used color intentionally. Red could represent sacrifice. Blue could represent vigilance or justice. White often symbolized peace or moral aspiration. The arrangement of colors mattered. Horizontal bands suggested equality across regions. Vertical bands suggested forward motion. Emblems added narrative depth. By the 20th century, newly independent nations across Asia, the Middle East, and Africa were designing flags that reflected their political philosophy and historical memory. In India, the Ashoka Chakra represented law and moral order. In Japan, the rising sun symbolized national identity, rooted in myth and geography. In many Middle Eastern nations, combinations of red, white, black, and green reflected Arab unity movements. Flags had become a global language. When African nations began designing their own flags during the decolonization period, they participated in that global language, but with distinctly African emphasis. Many countries intentionally removed colonial insignia that had once appeared on earlier flag designs. Where imperial coats of arms had stood, new symbols were introduced: stars, shields, suns, animals, tools, or simple color fields. In some cases, design competitions were held among citizens. Artists, teachers, students, and civil servants submitted proposals. The adoption of a flag was often debated in legislative assemblies. The process itself became democratic expression. Consider Kenya's flag, adopted in 1963. Its black stripe represents the people. Red symbolizes the struggle for freedom. Green represents the land. A Maasai shield and crossed spears were placed at the center to signify defense of independence. In Senegal, the green star at the center of the flag represents hope and unity. In Cameroon, the central star symbolizes national unity within a bilingual state. Across the continent, stars often represent unity. Stripes represent shared identity. Shields represent protection. Suns symbolize new beginnings. Design was rarely random. Even countries that adopted simpler flags did so intentionally. Nigeria's choice to avoid elaborate crests reflected a desire for clarity and cohesion across a diverse federation. Ghana's Black Star echoed Pan-African ideals, linking national independence to continental aspiration. And South Africa's post-apartheid redesign demonstrated how geometry itself can communicate reconciliation. Flags therefore function at multiple levels. They are visual summaries of history. They are condensed political philosophy. They are reminders of sacrifice. They are aspirations stitched into cloth. They are not static. Some countries have altered their flags to reflect constitutional changes. Others have debated redesign as political circumstances evolve. But the underlying principle remains universal. A flag gathers millions under a single symbol. It transforms abstract ideas, sovereignty, unity, freedom, into visible form. And while flags may differ in color, pattern, and symbolism, their purpose across continents remains strikingly similar. They tell a story. Flags also operate emotionally. During moments of crisis, citizens gather around them. During sporting competitions, they wave them with pride. In times of mourning, they are lowered in silence. The flag becomes shorthand for collective feeling. It is one of the few symbols that can unite people across language, ethnicity, religion, and political difference. In diverse nations especially, the flag often represents aspiration rather than perfection. It reflects what a country hopes to be, not merely what it currently is. That is why debates over flag design can be intense. When a nation changes its flag, it is rarely cosmetic. It signals constitutional shift, ideological transition, or historical reckoning. Across continents, redesigns have followed revolutions, independence movements, regime changes, and reconciliations. The fabric may appear simple, but the meaning it carries is rarely simple. From medieval battlefields to modern liberation movements, the flag has traveled across continents and centuries. Africa did not invent the concept, but Africa redefined its purpose. The African flag became not just a symbol of territory, but a declaration of identity. Resilience forged through struggle, unity imagined through diversity, and sovereignty reclaimed after interruption. The next time you see a flag, do not merely observe its colors. Ask what history shaped it. Ask what sacrifices gave it meaning. Ask what future it intends to represent. Because in every nation, African or otherwise, the flag is a story written in color. Hopefully, you have learned, laughed, and leveled up. Later, we shall see how much you have retained.